Part two, as I said earlier, is really about our keynote speaker and his speech. And so I would like to introduce you to our keynote speaker. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you for joining us today. We are privileged, we are honored that you would find time at such short notice to join us today and to share your wisdom with us. I am so excited and I'm looking forward to your speech. But before we do that, I'd just like to tell the others a little bit about you. Okay. Thank you, sir. So Professor Larry Bale, who is he? He is a strong believer that opportunities are usually wrapped up as impossibilities. With deep foundational philosophy guided by personal principles, that each creation has a unique fingerprint to live in divine purpose, passion, and praise, to always aspire to inspire and make global impact, make each life count before expiration and departure to meet the Messiah. He is described by his friends as an inspiring, visionary, and resilient leader with passion, who leverages on rich strategic skills, enterprise architecting, and business transformation, and turns around experiences. His experiences span FMCG, telecoms, and higher education industries. He creates and translates visions into reality in order to manage business opportunities, both in Africa and in the Middle East. He is currently the Chief Executive Officer of the Business School Netherlands International, BSNI, Nigeria, and serves as the Regional Director of CMOE Incorporated USA in Middle East and Africa region, using House Consulting Group as a platform for the promotion of global partners' integrated consulting solutions in the region. Again, he currently serves on the board of directors of firms in various sectors. He served as the pioneering governing management board of LASUS and a facilitator mentor for Faith Foundation. He has over 3 decades of business management experience in leading world-class global firms, including Pfizer. I'm sure you all know about Pfizer, worldwide biopharmaceutical businesses, CMO USA, and BSN International. At Pfizer, he served as regional director and resiliently led project teams, initiatives, development and implementation of business strategies for rebuilding Pfizer, the biggest global biopharma firm afresh, starting from ground zero in Nigeria in 1997, and to cover over 32 African countries by 2004. Wow, that's just 7 years he did all of that. He is a professor of Agile Organization Transformation in Business School Netherlands International. He's director of World Institute of Action Learning, board member, Forbes Business Council, Stetson University, TLAC University, USA, Haggai Leadership International alumni. Oh my goodness, we are honored. Oh, wow. He has 8 I'm not done. He has 8 fellowship awards made of 5 from institutes like marketing, NIMN, management, NIM, management consultants, IMC, mentoring and career development institute, and facilitator command staff college, Jaji, a distinguished fellow of the Professional Excellence Foundation of Nigeria. He has 3 from pharmaceutical professional bodies like the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacy, Nigerian Academy of Pharmacy, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, and he's a member of the Institute of Directors. He is on the board of Nigeria Alumni Association of Haggai Leadership International USA. He's a distinguished Toastmaster and he's IP President of EO Lagos, ex-area director and charter president of BSN Toastmaster, and a member of Ikoyi Club 1938 with a passion for golf. He is married to Ife, that's my sister-in-law's name, and his childhood friend, who is his childhood friend, and is blessed. They are blessed with two wonderful children. Can you please put your hands together as we all welcome Professor Larry Bale to the podium? Thank you so much, sir. We are thirsty for your knowledge today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my sister, Lola Adele. I will not spend an hour with you. I'll be spending like maybe 50 minutes. I'm hosting a meeting exactly about 55 minutes time. So if my speed looks too high, don't worry. Everybody will have a copy of the slide that I'll be using. So you can just relax, sit back, relax, tighten your seatbelt, and just enjoy the journey of my presentation. I would try to finish within 45 minutes so that I can have about 5 to 10 minutes for the purpose of Q&A.
Thank you very much, sir. Excuse me, sir, you're on mute.
Oh, all the English I've been speaking this morning have been on mute. Oh, wow. Okay. I first and foremost thank you for the beautiful intro. I did mention that I would spend like 40 to 45 minutes for my presentation. I have another program that I'm hosting exactly in about 54 minutes time at exactly 1 o'clock. So I will need to switch over to that program within 2 minutes because I'm the one hosting. So I can't afford to be the last to sign in. I have to be the first to sign in. I would like to first and foremost thank my creator that has given me the unique opportunity to speak to the primary drivers of economy in the world. They are the powers behind the throne, members of the former Babington-Ashaye Foundation, who I have seen and been mentored and who have helped several women to break the ceiling. And thanks to the foresight, farsight, and to the insight and the experiences of Mrs. Funmi Babington-Ashaye, who happens to be a former president of EU in Nigeria. And that's where I came across her. She was such a great inspiration that I've remained close to her. And I do have the knowledge of a number of people who are also inspired by her within the circle of EU and outside the EU. So it's a great privilege to be with you today and to be invited to speak. I would just speak basically on pathway to personal transformation. Why do I want to speak this way? Why am I interested in personal transformation or organizational transformation? As I was growing up, as a young child, I was born into a polygamous family. And for many of you, for some of you who are privileged to be in a polygamous family, you understand that there are politics in polygamous family at times. So I had to pay my fees in primary school, which was £1 per term. And in my senior primary school, which was primary 5 to 7, I was paying £1.10, which was in the local Nigerian pounds, not British pound. When I got to secondary school, my fee was £9 per term. And in order to raise my fees in primary school, I work in the farm. I work as house helps to some people. I did laundry for people. I did all kinds of odd jobs. In the secondary school, all those odd jobs were not enough to raise £9 within a term of 13 weeks. And I became very much challenged. And so I had to start to work like a vendor. I work in the printing press during the weekends. I work in a ladies' wear store, and in the evening period at times during the week, I would work in a pool store. And I couldn't just raise £9 in the term with all the money I was earning. And so I got the principal of the school looked at me one time and decided, because I was doing well in class, and chose to pay my fees in the rest in my secondary school, in my A levels, in my university. And then I began a journey in 1981 of being a management trainee in Pfizer. I worked for Pfizer for 25 years. I took an early retirement in 2006 in order to face consulting and teaching in a business school, which I've been doing on part-time since 2000, since the 90s. And so invariably, my desire is to be able to quickly share with people some of the things I wish I'd known in the early part of my career. Because I found greater fulfillment as I grew old, but I believe that it is better for me to share this information with the younger generation. So at times, I go to schools of higher learning, the universities. I mentor, I teach also in the postgraduate school, and I share some of these thoughts with them. Now, that's the background that is driving my passion. So you heard the word passion from Lola. By the way, my wife's name is Ife Lola, so you can understand why I'm connected with Lola in terms of her speeches and how she's moderating. So I realized the need for me to share this, and I've shared this in the early part of my marriage with my own wife, who happened to be a pharmacist. And because she needed to transform herself, I knew that she has far more potential than she was utilizing as a pharmacist. So, and through my persistence, using this pathway, principles of pathway to personal transformation, I was able to share with her the need for her to see herself as a gift to over 7 billion people in the world. So she transformed from pharmacy to do accounting. She qualified as a chartered accountant. She did her MBA, and she joined the bank. And she just took a retirement as the MD of FBN Capitals from FBN. So she transformed from pharmacy to accounting, from accounting to investment manager. And so, and I've tried it on my own kids as well. My kids, at a young age of 28, had his PhD. So my daughter, at a young age of 28, that's 2 masters and CFA. So it works. I've tried it on people who work with me in Pfizer, and virtually all of them who have worked directly with me are a minimum of MBA holder or a PhD holder, and they have had cause to change their trajectory, because some of the things I'll be sharing with you today, they are soft things. They are not hard things, but soft things are the most difficult to learn. We learn so much about other things about science, social science, but soft skills are not easy because in the undergraduate school, they don't teach it the way it's supposed to be taught. So today I'm sharing both testimonial. I've started with testimonial to let you know that I'm a scholar on personal transformation. What that means is that I'm also a student on personal transformation. It doesn't work perfectly for everybody, but I've shared the testimonials to show that it has worked for a number of people. And if I'm connected with you today, if it's just one person that I'm connected with, if it works for you, please be a disciple of personal transformation and share some of the things that has worked for you with other people. Having said that, my name is Eri Bale, so my Bale is spelled B-A-L-E. So permit me to stand up to be able to really be active. Let me just feel as if I'm in the class, in the physical class, I'm in the front of eminent people like Lola and Mrs. Babington-Ashaye. So you see here, there's a rain. I'll be sharing with you. I'm planting a seed in your heart today. Just 1 seed or 2 seeds, maximum 3 seeds. That's a takeaway. What I want you to do is to allow the situation around you to water it like rain, and then let it grow and blossom into a very beautiful garden in your life, similar to what you see here, an attractive person. There's a need to transform your future as a woman for many reasons. There are men, at times, we could be married to men that are irresponsible, God forbid. Or at times, because a woman is usually much more psychologically attached to the future of her children, much more than the man. That's more reason why every woman needed to take a pathway to transform themselves and prepare for the future. One, men can end up becoming a polygamist, like it happened to my mom. Men can end up dying at a young age And so the responsibility becomes yours. Whatever be the case, it makes sense to think through and to understand the need for you to transform your life and indeed transform your future with the rest of your family. Because whatever you do has influence. Even though I share testimony of my children, my wife has more influence on those children than I do. In terms of aspiration, inspiration, they wanted to be a minimum of what their mom was. So they ended up being better than the rest of us. They ended up achieving things earlier than we achieved. And that, to me, I give glory to God. But the principle I'm sharing with you are basic principles that I also shared with them at a very young age before they became senior adults. Today, values are important, and we need to teach values to our own children from a very young age. Their attitudes and values. Allow them to wash their pants, to wash their singlets and their shirts. Allow them to work with their mommy, either they are male or female, in the kitchen, and so on and so forth. And as individuals, where values matter to us wherever we are in our organization. And our mindset matter. And there are two broad kinds of mindset: growth mindset and a fixed mindset. In a fixed mindset, you've made up your mind. You've already assessed me. You've already come to a conclusion of who I am before you get to know who I am. But in a growth mindset, you work with each individual and see potential in them and assume that there's a positive side of everything in each person. And so day by day, as you do that, and you maximize your physical, emotional, mental, social, and spiritual energies. Because it's not enough for you to have spiritual energy. You must have balanced energy. The spiritual energy is important, but it's not enough. You must develop your physical energy through exercises. You must develop your emotional energy. You must develop your mental energy. You must develop your social energy. It's not enough for you to be intelligent and very brilliant, but you cannot relate to other people, because you've got to work with human beings, and you're going to work with the bad, the worst, and the worst. You're also going to work with some people who are good, better, and the best. And so it requires you to maximize your energy. And it's not enough for you to have one skill set. You must have multiple skill sets. So it's not enough for me to qualify as a pharmacist. I use pharmacy to enter the industry. I develop my skill in marketing. I develop my skill in leadership, develop my skill in strategy. I did the same thing for my wife, and I did the same thing for my own children. So the critical values of the organization must be followed. If the organization says integrity is critical, ensure you follow integrity. And I'm sure these are some of the things that we are learning in the FBA Foundation. So we need to transform our teams, and indeed that reflects in the transformation of our organization, our corporations, and indeed the community where we work from. And no matter whatever team you are currently working, recognize the fact that you could transform your team and transform the organization. One of the 10 most important questions of life that you need to ask yourself if you want to transform your life is, who am I? If you have no identity and you do not have an internal validation that you are somebody, you are different, even though you are an identical twin, you will be identical twin, but you are so different from your twin. You are good in everything, you are similar in a number of things, but you are the only person who has your biometric profile in the entire world of over 7 billion people. And what that means is that there's something you have been created for, to give to the rest of the world. You must therefore understand who you are. You must understand your purpose. You must understand where you are coming from. Because I know where I'm coming from, I have a tendency to manage money very prudently. Because I've seen richness. My father extremely rich. I've also lived in poverty. So I can understand that based on my heritage, I do not want to pass through poverty again. You must know where you are going. That's why you have to have a plan, not for today, tomorrow, you must have a plan for a generation. So what do you want for the next generation? What do you think you need to be doing in 25 years' time? What are the things you need to do today that aligns with those things that you need to do in 25 years' time? What are your potentials? What are the things you love to do? What are the abilities you have? What are your special gifts, your passion, your abilities, your personality, your experiences? Your negative experiences can become positive for you. What are the resources that God has already given to you, or nature, or circumstances around you, or family, or the environment where you live? Like there are some resources in Nigeria already. So The resources are not only present in Europe and America. This is where I raised all the money I used to fund the education of my kids. They spent 20 years in UK, so in various institutions. So for me, those resources, you must identify them. Who do I need to connect with? Because you need people. You need to stand on the shoulders of people. You cannot be everything. No matter how rich you are, no matter how influential you are, you also need people as a bridge to cross to the next level. And so, what legacy do you want to be remembered for? I choose in the early part of my career to be a teacher. So I started to teach in the 90s. And then I joined the business school Netherlands in 2003. And the objective is, by teaching, I'm able to leave a legacy in the heart of people. There are many of you who have never met me and will never meet me before I die. But if there's one seed I sowed in your life today, you will always remember it. That, to me, is a legacy. It's not the number of houses, it's not the amount of money you have, it's not the number of cars you ride, and so on and so forth. What are my values? What are my ethics? I must define them. And what do I need to do? I need to act on them, on all those things, items 1 to 9. If I don't act on them, then I will not be able to fulfill my purpose. And so, what are the areas for transformation? There's a need for us to identify initiatives and respond to them. One of the critical initiatives I've responded to is the LBA Foundation. And that's the fact that you have a very good initiative that's going to help many women to break the ceiling. And women are already carved by God. They are created by God to be better leaders than men. Because like you know, the concept of customer care is natural to them. They are very caring. And leadership is about caring for the people you lead so that they can remain loyal to the cause that you are leading. And so it means to that extent that, and empiric studies have confirmed that women are far better leaders than men in 16 out of 17 parameters. You need to reframe your challenges. Rather than see challenges as pure challenges, you need to reframe them as opportunities. So if you have a problem, that becomes an opportunity. So my wife had challenges in terms of practicing pharmacy in the general hospital. And she understood mathematics very well. It was an opportunity for her to expand her horizon in accounting and in the MBA school. So restructure your system, reform things, renew your mind, restore best practice. You cannot renew your mind unless you are feeding your mind with the right caliber of things. So when you renew your mind, you are listening to the right positive words. You are reading the right kind of spiritual books. You are also relating to people who are sharing positive things. When you watch films that are very negative, it starts to affect your mind. If you watch films that says that your mother-in-laws are evil, you start to see the evilness in your mother-in-laws. If you watch films that are more positive about life, you have a more positive approach to life. The same thing with people you surround yourself with. The same thing with the kind of books you read, the kind of things you hear. So restore best practice, pursue it, reaffirm your commitment, reposition yourself for some issues, or reposition some issues. So I've had some negative experience in my life, which I've repositioned to be a learning opportunity. So that's the way to reposition, rather than continue to whine on the negative thing. You have to keep on looking at people, even if you don't have no business to build. You have to keep on building people so that those people can build the society and you'll be better than it. The greatest fulfillment I have is when I pour my life into the life of other people. It's not when I buy anything for myself. Gifts that you buy for yourself, cars, houses, they don't give you joy. The greatest joy you have is when you pour your life into the life of other people and you see them grow. You see them fulfill their own aspirations because you have provided some foundation or some support for them. Recover your losses, regain your passion, and revitalize your energies in every way. My sisters, transformation is key, and must know that transformation is also painful. You recollect that butterfly, before it becomes very beautiful, it is like a caterpillar. It stays and gets enclosed in leaf, and it's not open to the rest of the world. The freedom is restricted. And after some time, it moves from being a caterpillar to becoming a butterfly. So there must also be a time when we are in a cocoon and we are restricted. We are building on our abilities. We are building on our experiences. We are building on the intelligence and we are building our mind. A time will come when we also need to emerge And so, like a butterfly, and then we become beautiful in the eyes of people. If you really want to transform, the first place, like I mentioned to you, from that inverted pyramid, is a mindset, your attitude. And so if you need to change your mindset, you must change your words. You cannot afford to say Nigeria is finished. You cannot afford to say I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm not intelligent, I'm not brilliant. Everything you need to fulfill your destiny is already given to you by God. And what God expects you to do is to pronounce them. Your friends will say, oh, you are arrogant. When you say, I know that God has given me beauty for ashes. They say, you are saying you are beautiful. That is pride. No, God has beautifully built you. There's nothing wrong for you to say that. I'm handsomely made. It is just that in the eyes of some people, I don't do counsel. But I'm handsome to myself. And I'm therefore assert it on a daily basis. I'm very cute, very down to the heart, cute. And so I must keep on looking at the good side of things that God has already given to me. You must see things from different perspectives. Never limit yourself to just one point of view. The reason being that your point of view may become popular, and minority point of view may be the correct one. So it's nice to put yourself in another people's position. Because what is M to me, if Lola is on the opposite side of me and is looking at M on the ground, it is W to her. And so I need to move to Lola's place to see W, which looks to me as M. So let's therefore learn to build an assault skill of vision, partnership, collaboration, providing solutions, be the light to problems in the world, communication, providing direction, strategy, sources, goal setting, teamwork, and leadership in all that we do. And I will therefore quickly illustrate it to let you know that there are three sides to every coin. So when I spoke about perspective, you must therefore have the ability to understand contrasting points. Remember that the coin, the popular view is that there are two sides to a coin. No, there are three sides. The head, the tail, and the edge, the side. Is a three-dimensional thing. So you must be able to glean information you believe to be valuable from each side as a crucial skill so that you can therefore be versatile enough to be able to move from one position to the other and to appreciate people's view. You need to be pragmatic. You need to have critical thinking and be active. And you need to understand that in about things you've learned in the past, they are not correct. For example, in the area of medicine, you think the best people who are practicing medicine, they are in Germany, they are in Europe, they are in US. It's not true. Hippocrates was born at about 460 BC and is believed to be the father of medicine. But through critical thinking and critical analysis, we recognize the fact that Imhotep, who was born about 2,200 years before Hippocrates, was worshipped by the European, by the Greeks, as the god of medicine. And that's 2,000 before the birth of Hippocrates. And Imhotep is believed to have his origin in Africa. So Africa has always been the forefront for medicine. It is just that we did not develop it. So I want you to therefore challenge some assumptions that we've always had. For example, you have always been told before now that there are three sides to the coin. I've already shown you now that there are three sides. You've always been told that the people who are most advanced in medicine are people in Europe and America. And I've just shown you that 2,003 years, Africa had been the forefront of medicine, even before the Greek people came up. The growth mindset showed that we learn from mistakes, we improve, we never give up, we are determined, we have a self-reflection, we make effort to overcome every challenge, and we can therefore train our brain to look at the positive side. In order for you to transform, you must take action, according to Pablo Picasso, because action is the foundation and key to success. Rather than complain about things, just organize yourself. Don't agonize, organize yourself. Because when you reorganize yourself, you are still going to see challenges as opportunity. And the secret to change is to focus on your energy, not on fighting the old system you met, but on building a new one. In fact, when you start to build a new one, the old system will collapse on its own. So you should build a new structure, a new thing of getting things done. So let's look at the powerful ways to build our passion. Number one, I'm going to be faster now. Number one, to build your passion, remember that there's a sweet spot of passion soul where you need to work. Your gift, your abilities, your strength, your personality and values provide passion. Remember that either your role is that of follower, culture, whatever it is. If the work you do aligns with your passion, you will enjoy your work. When you wake up in the morning, you feel like going to work. You are inspired to go to work, like I do every day. Number one, follow your dreams. Usually the only one stopping you from following your dream is you. Number two, do what you love and love what you do. When you do what you love and you love what you do, you mean that even when you are working, you are relaxing, you are relaxed, because that work no longer becomes something. Like what I'm doing now, I'm doing it with passion. I'm not doing it because Mrs. Babington-Ashaye asked me to come and do it. I enjoy. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, according to my mentor, Steve. The only way to be truly satisfied is to do the work you believe is great. And the only way to do the work that is great is to love what you do. If I haven't found it, keep looking. And please remember, every time you are doing anything, if you cannot do what you love, then fall in love with what you are doing. That is the only way to excel. That's part of the way to transform. Spend more time alone. Some time. Spend time alone for meditation, to find time to internalize, to understand yourself. Free yourself of all forms of constraint. That is, grow. Grow from being a small person. Compete against yourself. Don't compete against anybody. Heighten your awareness about yourself. Also take some time to rest. Because resting energizes you. Write down your revelations, write down your dreams. Have a small booklet. I have a small booklet here that I use every now and then. And I have something like this beside my bed. At any time, I wake up by 3 a.m. and I needed to do anything. I just remember an idea. I put it down there. And it is those ideas that you build on. I've already had an idea I was going to be a teacher way back in 1980. So experiment with your choices. Be creative. Bring clarity to your passion. Clarity means clarity of passion. Clarity to everything you want to do. Ask more questions concerning it. Affirm, but don't overdo. That is, find a way to exercise your muscles and keep off the steroids. Don't use artificial things to do that. Number 10, just do it. You never get to a level of perfection. Just keep on acting. Experiment with your ideas. Eventually, that little idea will blossom and become great. And you become a leader in transforming the world. What is holding you back? Nothing. You are the only person holding yourself back. Because the world, naturally, will not see the things you've seen. They will see your dream. You're supposed to be yourself. Don't be like Michael Jackson, who kept on changing your what? Just try to remain who you are. And you have value just the way you are. So let's look at how many squares here. How many squares can you see here? Go to the chat room and please tell me as I try to close. How many squares? The first two is what I will just write it on the chat room. How many squares can you see? Go to chat room and enter it. How people are people hearing me? Am I sure? Good, 17. Good. That's a good trial. Somebody has seen 22. Good. It's good. I could see that. I can tell you it's not less than 22. Somebody has seen 22 already. So if I still say 17, please take a second look. Somebody has seen 21, but I told you it's 22. Oh, somebody has seen 24. Finally. You see, it's improving. Great. 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 Good. Somebody has seen 26. Now, a big round of applause to all those who saw not less than 17. When you look at this square, you see 17 the first time. Then later you start to see more and more. So let me show you the squares. Number one, the 16 you saw, plus the big square 17, plus the small square inside the 17, which is 18, plus the 2 by 2 in the corners, that gives you 20, 19, 20, 21, 22, plus the 4 by 4 in the corners again, that is 23, 24, 25, 26, plus the 3 by 3 in the corners, 27, 28, the 3 by 3 in the other diagonal, 29, 30. So they are 30. What has this taught us? Performance is better when you are guided. So this foundation is providing a guide to all of you in order for you to break ceilings imposed on you by the society, by men, by society dominated by men. So as you get leadership, you become better in counting. And in every chaos, there's order. So those squares were not there in a disorderly way. They are actually more than 17. And it takes you to be able to look at the disorderliness and understand that 3 by 3 is also a square. And so eventually recognize the fact that you are able to see other in chaos. Training and coaching help you to get the work done and to get better results. So never stop getting yourself coached. There's strategy needed to achieve results. So importance of speed, scope up, speed up, scale up in order for you to transform. Have a plan or roadmap because our performance gets better when there's a plan. A dream will remain a dream unless you plan, in which case you set a goal. At this time, you can therefore pursue it. You must be focused in order to improve productivity. You must set clearer objectives, analysis, see possibility in everything that you do, be adaptable, and prioritize. Ladies and gentlemen, the sum of all the things I've shared with you so far is the fact that you are already shaped. S, you have special gifts. H, you have a heart and passion for certain things. I've given you the secret of passion. A, you have the ability to do some things. P, you have a personality that is peculiar to you. E, you have an experience that is peculiar to you, both positive and negative experience. Learn from both of them and see them from the positive perspective. And the only thing that makes a difference between me and my identical twin, Lola, it's not our shape, it's our D. We can be identical twin. We can have the same special gift, the same heart or passion, the same ability, the same personality, the same experience. But the choices we make are decisions. Our decision determines our destiny. That is the D. And so we are shaped to make a difference in the world. We must therefore find and fulfill that unique purpose of our life and work with it in order for us to transform. So how do you apply your personal transformation to business transformation, organizational transformation? As soon as you develop your personal transformation, you become a better leader because you will have fast mastery in what you do. You can therefore learn to engage people, to engage other resources and partners, to develop strategies, to change the processes in your organization, the products in your organization, the services in your organization. And as you do that as the enablers, you start to get better results in people, customer, and society, and the business become better. So the secret to business transformation has its foundation in personal transformation. The people you want to transform the business, you must transform them first. That's why I spend resources on education for the people who work with me. I train them and continue to train them. I became a teacher to them because I needed to learn solutions to their challenges and their problems. And therefore, Agile is an onion. If you really want to have a personal transformation, don't start giving people tools and processes. No. Deal with their mindset. Build their values. Let them have the right principles. Then they will practice the right thing. And then when you hand over the tools and processes to them, they will make the best use of it. So what do we do in companies? We give them tools and processes first. We give them job description, the practice, and then we ask them to go and act. No wonder the majority of them don't put in their best. No matter how competent they are, they may not be committed. And some they are committed, but they may not be competent. So this is the root. The starting point is not the tools and processes, it's the mindset. And I've already shared with you. So let me share with you in conclusion, leaders drive values. You are a leader in your own right. You're a leader to your children, and indeed even to your family, including your husband. Your values drive behavior. Your behavior drives culture and commitment. Your commitment drives engagement. Your engagement drives performance, and your performance will drive long-term success. So the chain of success is therefore to transform yourself. That's why, because you cannot transform other people unless you transform yourself. So learning in leadership must be about your being, who you are. So who do you see in the mirror? See greatness in the mirror. Acquire more knowledge. Practice a number of ideas. You may not be perfect initially, but eventually you get it right and learn to relate to people. Learning is an integral part of transformation. It's life-wide, from formal learning to informal learning. And it is lifelong, from birth to the time you become aged. Ladies and gentlemen, learn to understand that all your three energies or four energies, which I shared with you before, your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual energy, as you align them with the organization's vision mission, you derive satisfaction, aspiration, and compassion. You become better, you become differentiated, you make a difference. So that difference I say you've come to make in the world. You start from your family, you start from the organization. I want you to be yourself, but to be your very best. You must always discover your strength using psychometrics. The second test I have for you before I close today is, how do you tell your story? This is my story. I used to sell drugs and went about shooting people. Who do you think I am? Can you go to the chat room and tell me who this person is? Somebody told me I used to sell drugs and I went about shooting people. Can you describe what this person is communicating? I want to recognize whoever is the first to enter something in the chat room. Time is against me, so I'm going to move fast. Type something, type something. I want to see the first person to type, and I'm going to read it out, what the person says. What is the meaning? I used to sell drugs, and then what about shooting people? That's the story somebody told me. It means someone who has a violent personality. Thank you, Auntie Nene Oserogo. Great. This is the story, and this story was told by me. I am the person. So what does this story means? Just listen to it. Just look at the next slide. I used to be a pharmacist and a photographer. So at times how you tell your story matters. Because when you tell the same story this way, the interpretation people will give is that you're a drug addict who is a violent person. Majority of people, very few people will understand the fact that you are a pharmacist and also was formerly a photographer. Now, when you are telling a story about your life, don't share bad stories concerning your life with people. Share story of victory over pains, victory over challenges, not story of only the challenges. Because you will only be remembered for the challenges. But when you share stories of victories, so the words you choose to paint a very different story, but therefore choose your words well. I didn't tell you that I'm a short man. I told you I'm a cute man, cute. So you must use the right word for yourself. Your story might be right, but the way you are telling it might be wrong. Remember, you are unique, you are powerful. You must be comfortable with who you say you are. And you must have internal validation that you are happy with who you are. Because if you're not happy with who you are, you end up being like Michael Jackson. You'll be changing your structure, you'll be changing your face, you'll be changing your tummy, you'll be changing everything. No, just be comfortable. Accept yourself as a masterpiece, created in the image of God. Your best relationship is the one you have with yourself. You cannot even love another person unless you've learned how to love yourself first. So, because your ability to translate love to other people is first foremost the ability to love yourself. So, if you don't get along with yourself, you will not be able to get along with other people. Love yourself and love your neighbor. And then, as you love yourself, that's what the scripture says. It means you cannot even love your neighbor unless you learn. Acknowledge and admire your own talents, not just that of your neighbor. Your talents is what is going to drive you to your destination. The gift you already have, your shape. The number one enemy to yourself is who you see in the mirror. Don't focus on your mistakes and weaknesses. Focus on your strength. Focus on the things going on well in your life. You cannot give away what you do not have. You cannot be kind to others unless you learn how to be kind to yourself. Our Creator knows that we all have weaknesses. We have things to struggle with, but nobody has yet arrived at perfection. It's a life journey, and it's a waiting game. Just keep working at it. Don't wait till the time you are perfect before you start the journey. Everybody has weaknesses so that you can depend on our Creator to find strength. The person who creates you, that's God. You can rely on Him to find strength when you have challenges. Don't put your weaknesses in the forefront of your mind. Creator accepts you the way you are. It changes you little by little a day. It transforms you from caterpillar to butterfly. Therefore, speak about your strength, not about your weaknesses. You can become who you are destined to be if you learn how to focus on your strength and not your weaknesses. We all have natural tendencies to struggle with ourselves, to try to be like Mrs. Babington-Ashaye, to be like Lola Adeleye, be like Benjamin Fatogun and the rest of. No, don't feel shortchanged. Just what God has deposited out of you is what you require to fulfill your destiny. You are fully equipped for the race of life. That's why we call it grace. Because when you add God to your race, it becomes grace. And so you need grace. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are original. So don't die copying other people. What you think is a weakness will actually be a strength in you. Step into what Creator wants you to be. When I spoke about what you think is a weakness will be a strength in you, I remember very well that I used to make a lot of noise in my secondary school. And I remember my principal told me, say, They used to call me John those days. Say, John, you make a lot of noise. You're always on the noisemakers list. And I know this person was paying my fees. He said, I have nothing against you making noise. Just make useful noise. How about you reading your chemistry textbook, your physics textbook, your biology textbook, and then you come to the front of the class during prep period and just teach the rest of your class what you've learned in those books. It makes sense to me. I didn't know it was preparing me. She was preparing me to become a teacher one day. Today I make noise. I still make noise. I'm making noise to you now, but these are useful noise. So my weakness in making noise has been turned around to be a strength for me. So step into what they tell you to be. He has given you the personality you need to be everything you are made to be. Love yourself. Accept your gift. Don't criticize yourself. Don't criticize God's creation. It doesn't make mistakes to be kind, merciful, and nice to yourself and to other people. Affirm to yourself every day, I'm made in the image of Creator. I'm a masterpiece. I'm a royal blood. I have a royal blood flowing through me. I feel good. So be positive towards yourself. So every time you speak negatively about yourself, it's not humility. You're actually reducing your ability to transform your life. Look into the positive side. Negativity towards others results from a toxicity or negativity that is inborn with our personality. So when you see somebody who doesn't see anything good in other people, other than negative things, know that that person is dealing with a negative aspect of his or her own life. So be grateful, because your attitude in life will be determined by the depth of your gratitude. Learn to acknowledge and admire and compliment yourself. Remember that you are not only other people's race, it's God's race. That's why it's called grace. You already have enough enemies in your life. Don't add yourself to the list of your own enemies. A mistake doesn't change your destiny. Remember the story of Ibrahim, Musa, Dawood, Yunus. Abraham made a mistake. He assumed, this is the baby I need to make love to have my baby. But yet it was Sarah that determined me. And yet God did not avoid him. Moses was a murderer at a young age. Yet God still chose him to lead the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt. David was a murderer, was an adulterer, yet God made him a king. Jonah was running away from his creator, yet God ensured that the fish swallowed him and carried him to the place. He didn't abandon him. So your mistake in the past should not be seen as a reason you have refused to forgive yourself. You're not a finished product. Yes, God is still working on you daily. So you are created for a purpose. You're also in the audition for a purpose. Become everything that the Creator created you to be. So your life becomes purposeful first before it becomes what? Pleasurable. So once you pursue your purpose with passion, it becomes pleasure for you. So remember, your transformation starts with a purpose, and along the bridge of passion, then you find pleasure. Find complementary strength, build on your strength, invest on your talents to become strength. No matter what you have, your domain, you can be good in executing, influencing, in leadership, in strategic thinking. All you need to do is to build yourself up in every area. Those are the 4 domains that are required for you to transform yourself. And no matter your temperament, remember that don't call yourself as choleric or phlegmatic alone. You are a little bit of everything. So you can always pick any one of them at any time and develop yourself in the area you think you are weak and make it work for you. God has created each one of us to be in all the 4 boxes, not just in 1, not just in 2, not just in 3. So develop yourself in the other areas and master the area that you're already good at. And at the end of the day, you can create a pathway to action. Look at the things that helps you personally, your personality, your relationship, your situation. What are the things that are likely to block your transformation? Work around these things, and there's no limit to you. I would like to thank you for giving me this great opportunity to talk to you. I've put a plan of action there, and I've also put some bullet points to help you in the future. Use those things to help you. Keep educating yourself. Remember, as I share with you today, your mindset matters, vision matters, action matters. Ego is edging God out. Don't edge God out in your life. Bear in mind that God has created you for a reason, and so keep God in your life. I'm not being religious. I'm just being spiritual. They are 2 different things. So don't edge God out. Don't be too proud towards other people. See obstacles as opportunity. Be productive. Continue to promote excellence in everything you do. Success will be yours. And as you promote the culture of transformation in the life of other people, you realize that there are lessons you are also learning. You're becoming a better person. I'm a personal scholar, or I'm a scholar, I'm a student of personal transformation. I hope I've been able to share with you the little that I know today. And I hope the little ignorance I've shared with you is acceptable to you for today. God bless you. So let me quickly look at my questions. I have 5 minutes to take questions. If there are questions, I would like to have them.
Wow,
There are no
wow,
questions.
wow.
I'm
Thank you.
away. I'll go. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think the people were mesmerized.
Thank you, ma.
And so, you know, I think I have so many pages of notes here. I was just trying to scribble as fast as I could.
That's right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I took away some nuggets. I think if nobody has a question, I just have a simple question. I think you've
That's
given us
fine.
so
Please
much.
feel free to ask me.
Yes. So we are talking about the pathway to transformation.
Yes, please.
And you've given us so much about empowering ourselves, having a purpose, you know, those 10 questions and all of that. So how do we know that we are transformed? Is there a fully transformed state?
No. In one of my nuggets, I did mention that there's no fully, it's a journey. And so you never wait till the time you say you are perfect before you start the transformation journey. No. Where you are is part of the journey. And so you see that you have some experiences, you have some challenges, you have some negativity, some parts that are negative. You look at the positive side of those negative things. And so you just keep on moving, knowing fully well that you want to be better than yesterday. So transformation is actually a competition against who we are yesterday. You don't compare yourself with another person. It's one of the things I said. Don't compare yourself. You can never be another person, but you can compare yourself with yourself. What was I yesterday? How can I be better tomorrow than who I am today? Because the tomorrow you are talking about, today is the day to plant the seed and to water it. So when tomorrow it germinates, you have become better. That's why I share the stories of the people around me who have had cause to transform from whatever they were before to a new individual, because they invested in the tomorrow they wish to live in. And so define that tomorrow. I've already defined way back in 1981 as a management trainee, the tomorrow I love to live when I'm 85, when I'm 90. And I've started that journey way back in 81. Along the line, rather than wait the day of my retirement before I become a teacher, I took a retirement 17 years ago. So in 2006, and that is one of the best ways within which it could be helpful to me to be able to appreciate. I mean, 16 years ago, that's the way it could be helpful to me to start to live the life I desire to live when I retire. So I started living that life early enough, and I'm enjoying the journey every day. I'm sure the way I've taught you today doesn't appear as if I'm being forced by Mrs. Ashaye to do this. It's something I've done out of passion, because I've already found purpose in what I'm doing. I've derived passion, I've developed passion for it. And therefore, my purpose, my journey, I'm already on my journey. And I hope I've left a legacy as seeds in the life of some of you who have listened to me today. If you walk with it and you fly with it, even when I die, you always remember me as a good person.
Absolutely.
Not from a negative perspective. If you do, I have a lot of imperfection in my life, you will remember me for those things that I've done in your life that is positive. That's it.
Thank you so much. Can we just put our hands together for Professor Larry Bale?
Thank you.
He does dish it out from all angles and from all sides. I don't even know where to start, but
so I will send the PDF version on WhatsApp to Mrs. Babington-Ashaye. God bless you.
Thank you so much. So many wonderful comments. Everybody thanking you. We want to thank you so much for sharing with us your wealth of knowledge. I know you have to go, so thank you so much. And
thank you.
I wish I was in that room again.
Thank you so
very
much,
Prof.
All right. Thank you, ma.
Thank you for your time.
God bless you.
Thank you for imparting us. You've done so much for the present generation, and I'm sure for generations yet unborn. Thank you. God will reward your labor of love.
Amen.
And my greetings to Auntie Ife.
I will.
And the doctors.
Thank you so much. Eji. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. That was fantastic. I'm still trying to come back. Okay, so we didn't have any questions for Professor Bale. I don't know if anybody, I can see all the comments in the chat. Thank you so much, sir. What a beautiful and insightful presentation. Somebody wants the video. I think it's on Facebook. So I think it will be on our Facebook page at the end. It should be anyway. God bless you, sir. We thank him so much. Okay, so we're just about ending. Oh, Mrs. Adenekon has her hand up. Yes, please, ma.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. And thank you, Professor Bale. That was fantastic. As basic as it might seem, it's been brilliant. I've heard before that do what you have passion for. Of course, it's going to be easier. But I've also read where it has been questioned that, I mean, do you have to wait to do something you have passion for? So the question is it really, I mean, there are some things that we need to do. You might not necessarily have passion for it, but you had better develop passion for it. You know, because times are changing fast. And there are some things that we need to do, whether we like it or not, if we're really going to flow with the tide, or if, I mean, be better positioned. I don't know whether I'm coming across.
Yes, you are, ma. Yes,
I have
you
seen
are,
that in my life. Let me give you an example. There's some things I don't like to do. So because of that, I thought I would, you know, what I like to do, I do well. But I have found out that it's not enough. It's not, for these times, it's certainly not enough. And so now I have to do the things that I need to do to achieve what I want to achieve. So
absolutely. So I think I can answer that one.
I know.
So there's something we call, when we put down our goals, right? Even like this time of the year, we put down our goals. We have what we call performance goals. And that's what most of us put down because we say they have to be smart, measurable, timed. Those are performance goals. But then we forget there is something that is also called growth goals. Because our performance goals are those activities that we need to do. But like you said, ma'am, you find that you are only doing the things you want to do because the things, and those things are in your comfort zone. The things you like to do, the things you want to do that come naturally, they're in your comfort zone. But then for you to achieve your stretch goals, you need to grow. You need to stretch. You need to come out of your comfort zone. And so it's not comfortable. And I'm going to pick one of the quotes from Professor Bale. He said, love what you do. That's where that passion comes in. But he also said, if you don't love what to do, you better, if you don't do what you love, you better love what you do. Okay? If you don't do what you love, you better love what you do.
To move forward.
To move forward. Because you have to push through. You have to come out of that comfort zone. You have to stretch. It's like I had a class yesterday and I had a rubber band. I don't think it's here, but you all know what the rubber band is. It's elastic.
Yeah.
A rubber band has many uses. Yesterday when I was asking, some people said they use it to hold their hair. Somebody said I use it to hold my word of money. But the truth of the matter is, without stretching that rubber band, it cannot be used. It has to be stretched. And the same with us as well. For us to achieve those stretch goals, we need to come out of our comfort zone. We need to stretch to achieve that purpose. The purpose of the rubber band is to hold things together. But without stretching, it will not do it. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And by the way, my daughter is watching this.
Oh, wow.
Now she's watching you, and I've told her she should keep an eye on our chairman also, the chairperson, and Miss Adelaide. The other Miss Adelaide.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Excellent. I just would ask, I know Ms. Bumi Adeleye, who was supposed to give our vote of thanks, is a bit poorly. So I'm just going to ask another member of the EXCO to do that for us, if that's okay. So can I please ask, I'm not sure if Adetola is free, but Adetola, if you're available, can I please ask you to give a vote of thanks? As Adetola unmutes herself, before I hand over to her, I want to thank everybody for making the turnout today has been so impressive. At a point, we had 40 people on this. So thank you to everyone for showing up, for honoring the invitation, for rising up to that clarion call. We are really grateful. We will share the slides, share the videos, share the information, because we are on this journey together. You know, as Professor Bale said, it is a journey. We are on the journey together, this transformation journey. And by the special grace of God, we will arrive at a wonderful destination in the next 2 years for us to hand that baton to another group of EXCOs. Thank you. I don't know if whether Dr. Ashaye also has something to say before Adetola comes up.
Thank you very much, Lola. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Oh, okay. I'm not on mute. I thought I was on mute.
No, you're not.
Yeah, thank you for moderating so well. A lot of nuggets that I cannot even start, reeling out now. Quite a lot. I've actually been really, really blessed, with all we've had, because we have to continue to evolve. We have to continue to renew ourselves. And that is the only way we can continue to be relevant. I'm sure we all want to continue to be relevant throughout our lifetime. If that is what we want, there's just no shortcut. We have to continue to evolve. We have to continue to transform ourselves, to God's desired plan for our life. On this note, I would like to thank each and every one of us for creating the time. Sorry, Miss Adetola, she's not around. She said that ED just called her, to a meeting quickly. She's not in control of her time. So I would like to thank everyone here present. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. I'm sure you have a lot, a lot of takeaway from this seminar. And this year, by the grace of God, with the new EXCO in place, we're going to have a lot of sessions, seminars, conferences, both virtually and also on site. On this note, the seminar is thereby declared closed. Thank you for your time, and God bless you. Thank you.